Decision 2020 here. Today, candidates not the only choice on the ballots, of course. There are also 6 amendments that could impact the future of this state.
Amendment 2, if approved, would raise Florida's minimum wage. WPTV News Channel 5's Arthur Mondale live in Martin County tonight with both sides of this debate.
But first, people out here are showing up and breaking records. The supervisor election telling me here in Martin County that usually for a presidential election, 77, 78, 79% of voters actually turn out. Here, so far, today, tonight, before the polls actually close, 82% of voters have turned out. And yes, they've chosen the candidates, but of course, they've likely seen those amendments. Speaking of amendments, Amendment 2 would increase the minimum wage from $8.56 per hour to $15 an hour. And I spoke to a lot of people on various sides who say there's good and bad to moving the number.
I mean, the cost of living is what's ridiculous. That's what needs to come down. We wouldn't need to jack up, to $15 an hour if a one-bedroom apartment wasn't $1,300.
Vincent Sacco has only been in Florida for just 3 weeks, and it's an adjustment.
I'm still living on the owner's couch.
He says he's in favor of an increase to the state's current minimum wage, but uncertain about the overall cost to his industry.
They could definitely be affected adversely.
Someone who's only valued at 10 is going to take away from the person that deserves 20 or 25 or 30.
Chocolate with the strawberries, delish.
At Nina's Bakery in Jupiter, they too are crunching numbers.
I can see how having that boost in the paycheck would be, super beneficial.
While his boss pays employees $13 to $15 an hour, she believes the market should dictate the hourly rate, not a vote.
There is no right or wrong answer because every business is so individual.
If you want to keep people, you have to pay a decent rate.
Nicole Anderson is the CEO of MEND, a human resources solutions firm. She says from a budgeting standpoint, small businesses will be adversely impacted by a minimum wage increase.
I do believe there needs to be a roundtable, a discussion between business owners and low-wage workers and trying to figure this out.
I think the really harsh part of this amendment passing would be that opportunity to get people into the workforce for the first time.
Florida for a Fair Wage, the political committee sponsor of Amendment 2, doesn't see it that way, arguing it's time to reverse decades of growing pay inequality. We asked WPTV political expert Brian Crowley where the individual parties stand.
I think Democratic candidates generally support the increase. Republicans tend to lean more toward the business side of things, and Democrats have always leaned more towards the worker side of things.
Now, Crowley is not convinced that this amendment will pass. There's also much debate. No one could give me an exact answer on what a livable wage actually is. We'll find out tonight. Reporting live, Arthur Mondale, WPTV News Channel 5.
Arthur, thank you. And a look at other amendments tonight. Amendment 6, tax discounts for spouses of certain deceased veterans. Amendment 6 would